Okay, so welcome back. Thank you for continuing to watch this ongoing process this evening. I realise you're watching the final edited version, but for me this is very much a live, a live and ongoing process. The Westy hasn't changed. It's still, as I say, it opened up after, between opening the bottle and then opening the bottle of St Bernardus, the Westy really opened up a lot. I've kind of pinned down maybe what it is that's slightly different from the St Bernardus. I almost think it's a little bit more sophisticated. I think that the Westville Tern is slightly more, yeah, it's more sophisticated. I think it's less in your face. It's less big and loud. Much more refined. To be honest, not that the St Bernardus is big and loud, but it certainly is more so than the Westy. So I'm going to put those two to the side for 1 minute, and I'm going to open the final beer of this boozy video blog, and that is this one. This bad boy. It's Trappist Rochefort, number 10, and again this is very similar style, in quad style. And again in the kind of 11%, 11.3%. So because I have exhausted my collection of Ponzi wine glasses for this evening, I am now actually drinking out of a real wine glass. So let's go for this one. Once again, not, well, I was going to say not that startled by the colour difference, but there is actually a colour difference this time. The Trappist Rochefort is distinctly, I know you probably can't see this in camera, but the Trappist Rochefort is distinctly darker than the other two. I would say that out of the three, I've probably actually gone light to dark. The Westy and the St Bernardus are quite close in colour, but maybe the Westy is slightly lighter. This is a lot darker. Again, fantastic head, and that's the one thing I find about all of these beers, is that the mouthfeel and the head retention has been brilliant. So let's give this one a bash. See, immediately I'm noticing a more sort of prominent alcohol hit on the nose. It seems a little bit more prominent. Let's compare that, well no, actually compare it first of all to the St Bernardus. On the nose, for me, St Bernardus wins. Westy. On the nose for me, Westy wins again. So let's give this one a taste. Again, very, very good, and it's so difficult to compare three beers like this, three beers that are in such a sort of similar style, if you will. There's nothing that kind of really separates them too much. I mean, it's not like one was barrel aged or one was whatever, you know, they're very much made in a similar way, a similar style. They're made to be a similar style, and they're very similar ABVs, each of them. For me, I would almost gamble in saying this is my least favourite of the three so far, which unfortunately means that my favourite one is Westville Tern. And I kind of set out on this quest with these three beers, not wanting that to happen. I kind of wanted the cheaper and more readily available one to actually be the better one. I'm not convinced by that. I think that for me, Westville Tern is a treat. It's a fantastic treat. It's not something that I'm going to rush out and buy again. And to be quite honest, because these sorts of beers, St Bernardus and Trappist Rochefort, are more readily available and are still extremely well made and extremely good beers, I don't know whether I'd be that tempted to go and try and trade or try and, you know, get this beer by any means. In the same way that I did to get this one. I mean, unfortunately, I have to say I bought this beer. I do realise that's against the principles of the people who make it. It's against the kind of the principles of the monks who actually make it, because it's a beer that's supposed to be bought from the brewery itself. Unfortunately, I didn't respect that. I don't feel guilty though. I'm glad I've tried it. I'm very glad I've tried it. But I honestly think if I was looking for a Trappist hit, if I was needing to quench my thirst for Trappist beers, I think I would probably be most likely to turn to St Bernardus 12 first. Trappist Rochefort 10 after that. I'm not saying I will never have Westvleteren ever again, but it's not a beer that I'm going to hunt high and low for, and it's not a beer that I'd be particularly that willing to go out there and buy cases of it, but drive to the brewery, arrange buying the beer, etc. So to kind of conclude from that, I think that what I'm saying is that whilst I prefer the Trappist, whilst I prefer the Westvleteren, I honestly think that the levels of dedication, the levels of commitment that are required to actually get your hands on a bottle probably aren't worth it. I think that it's a very well made beer, and I completely respect the brewers and the principles that they have and how they want to sell their beer. I completely respect that. But for me, as a big beer geek, I've done it, I've tried it. I'm quite happy if I need a hit of Trappist beer to go for St Bernardus or go for this wonderful glass of Rochefort. Okay, be it they're not quite as refined, they're not quite as sophisticated as Westvleteren, but I'm not honestly sure I need that in every glass of beer. Thank you for watching this long. I realise it's been long. Thank you for watching this long and arduous video blog. It's been fantastic to compare these three beers. For me, it's probably not going to happen again. I'm probably not going to be in a room again with these three beers side by side, being able to taste them, compare them, sniff them, do a mega comparison with them. So for me, this is probably a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I hope wherever you are tonight, you have a fantastic beer like I do here, like I do beside me here. Thanks once again for watching HeavyHops.com. I really appreciate your viewing figures and you reading the blog. Cheers, thank you very much.